Hello YouTube, this is Maulgamer and welcome to another Pokemon Teams video. Yeah, surprising, I've not done with these since like around Sword and Shield's release. So basically, I wanted to do another Pokemon Teams video, but this one isn't exactly just on Pokemon Sword and Shield. This is just a Pokemon team in general. And I kind of want, of course theme teams, but I just kind of felt like doing something vaguely strange. Basically, funny story, I wanted to react on this channel to Isekai Quartet. I had already watched the series, every anime from Isekai Quartet, so that's Overlord, Konosuba, ReZero, and Tanya the Evil. And basically, well, I finished season 3 of Overlord, that was the last one I watched, and I kind of just sat there and thought, I should react to it on my channel. Fun fact, I didn't. As you realise now, I haven't. Because I watched it, because I was just getting super giddy about watching it, because I tried to avoid spoilers, so I thought I'd watch it, and I kind of thought afterwards, I was thinking, what else can I do? Now, surprisingly, I watched it about the same, no, the day before I made the video where I said the last dude video that I made, the recent dude video. If you watched that, I'd said, you know, it'd been a while since I actually recorded, so I thought I'd make that video. And if you noticed, I made some references to this video whilst making that one. Basically, I was trying to work out the teams. So, I'll be doing this series in order: Konosuba, ReZero, Tanya, and Overlord, because that's the order I watched them in. And then I'll do Shield Hero after that at some point, and maybe I might do teachers and other characters, although I will do Roswell in the next video because he's a major character in the class. So yeah, I guess we should begin with Konosuba Pokemon themed teams. Now, Konosuba took a while to do, surprisingly. There was, well, some of the characters were quick and easy, some of them took a little longer than they should have, and the first character that took the longest is Kazuma, the protagonist. I love Kazuma. I love his chatness. I love gender equality. He yearns for true gender equality, and I love that. He's just one of those. He's just one of those characters that I love. He's a different protagonist to what you'd expect, and I just love that. And his team was a bit harder to make. Most of it is themed off his abilities from the show, and I'll actually bring those abilities quickly up because otherwise I'm gonna forget most of them. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna forget most of them, and this is why you have a PC. So basically his team is Gallade, Thievul, Decidueye, Dragapult, Klefki, and Mew. Now throughout the whole series, I will try not give people legendaries and double Pokemon, but this one I had to mess with the rules a little. So, Gallade. Well, Gallade's supposed to be the hero sort of Pokemon, compared to Gardevoir, which is the more princess. Gallade just is Gallade. It's a nice Pokemon, it kind of fits, it's got like the swords on its arm, I guess. But other than that, it's more of a hero, and Kazuma was sent to this world to be a hero, and that's really it. It doesn't really show his pervertedness or his just evil acts he's done. It's not useless. It's kind of a decent fighting type for him, and yeah, Thievul. Now, a lot of people who've watched Konosuba will understand where this is coming from. Thievul, Thief, Steal ability. Steal ability steals the opponent's item. The higher the luck, the better the item. And of course, this is one of the Pokemon that kind of goes into the pervertedness, how he uses his ability to steal others' underwear, which amazing scenes, right? By the way, I love them. So Feeble was the pick at the top. I knew I was going to give him a Feeble from the start, because I remember the thief ability, the steal ability, quite a lot. The Decidueye. Well, the Decidueye, it was more, well, it was a, okay, this was in between two Pokemon, and both of them were starters, Decidueye or Inteleon. Now, Decidueye is a bow and arrow Pokemon. It's a ghost archer, ghost Robin Hood sort of thing. Inteleon is a sniper Pokemon. It's a spy sniper, and a literal move, Snipe Shot. So this was a hard pick, and I picked Decidueye because one of the abilities is also Bow. So Bow and Snipe, the other ability, makes sense for Kazuma. So I put them together. You got Decidueye. So. And also it's a ghost, so it kind of works with the lurk and concealment abilities. I don't know if can it detect enemies? I cannot remember if the Decidueye can detect enemies, because that's another ability that would also make sense. Dragapult. Dragapult's another one which is mainly for the lurk ability. That's all I could really think about. It's a ghost type that can lurk. A lot of people like to use Phantom Force with Dragapult. I personally do. I will admit I like to use Phantom Force on Dragapult. It's a pretty easy move to use. It takes away the protection of others, so that's kind of cool. And yeah,
Future Mall here. Basically, another little thing with Dragapult, but I didn't mention. It's the Dreepy inside of it. They are always eager to be shot out of the cannons, which is kind of a bit like Darkness in some way. She's always eager to be like put out as like the shield, always getting attacked, or to just go headfirst in and attack. So that also has a little bit of a meaning. I didn't mention this, and I only realised now, which is kind of hilarious. I thought that would really I think that just works even more. I mean, Megumin also gets shot out in some way, so it's like Megumin and Darkness, because of course, clearly Aqua wouldn't, but yeah.
Klefki. Now, Klefki is a strange one. Well, you might think, why Klefki? Well, literally one of his abilities is Unlock. Allows the user to open up any lock. Klefki. Boom. Which, that's the only other, but there's also a little hidden meaning I did to this, and it's actually season 2, with when he was in prison. Aqua always tried to give him some way of getting out. Well, Klefki is keys. He could have gotten out with that, so that's kind of also part of it as well. And lastly, Mew. Now, Mew, a bit of a strange one there. Because a lot of people would say, why did I give him Mew, a mythical Pokemon? One of the ones that are just at the top there, creation. Well, it was a bit of a mix between with Mew. Mew was just, it's not what it's supposed to be, but it's actually because of its moveset. The moveset that Mew can learn is any TM. Well, if I have that idea, literally Kazuma does say he's an adventurer. He can learn any other skills from other, like, characters and, well, yeah, pretty much that sort of thing. And, well, I'm literally reading this up, and of course I'm thinking, he learns a lot of abilities. What abilities could I show off for Kazuma? Then I realised Kazuma has literally every ability that he could want. So Mew is perfect for that, because he could just TM, keep the TM's like abilities, give them to Mew, swap out its moveset quite a lot, boom, you got Kazuma. It's literally Kazuma. So Can you see what I'm getting from? It's literally, he can drain touch, he can unlock, he can cook, he can smith, he can lip read, he can do deadly backstabs, he can auto dodge, he can create water, earth, and wind breath, he can freeze, he can fireball, flash, lightning, teleport. He could do so much, and Mew is perfect for that. So hence I chose Mew. I'm gonna try and make this quick. Aqua, I like her, she's decent. She's supposed to be useless, and I kinda like that. She's supposed to be a trash tier waifu, but by being trash. So I can understand that, and she's one of those Pokemon she's one of those teams I had to give her to the same Pokemon. So the first one, Milotic. I was actually going to do Wailord, but then I realised Wailord wouldn't be the best. So Milotic, it's supposed to be a pretty Pokemon. She sees herself as this pretty goddess. So, duh, I'm gonna have to give her that sort of thing. The next two are both Magikarp. Can you guess why I gave her Magikarp? Splash. Yeah, I gave her Magikarps because Splash. It's useless when it's not evolved. So, yeah, hence I gave her that. Funny, I also gave her a Gardevoir, which is also linked back to the Milotic, seeing herself as a pretty character. She's supposed to be like the main girl, the main waifu, compared to Megumin Darkness, or at least that's what I see. Personally, I don't think she's the main waifu. I'm Megumin from these guys, but Yun best girl. So basically I gave her, and it's a shiny Gardevoir, so, because it's blue. So why wouldn't I give her that? As well, it kind of works with Kazuma's Glade, so yeah. As well, I gave her Sliggoo. Sliggoo is funny because if you remember some of the early episodes, all the slime that is used on Aqua, like Aqua's always eaten by those toads, so and she's always got slime around her every time, so hence I gave her the Sliggoo because it's goo. I didn't want to give her Goodra because it's strong as Goodra. It's supposed to be a pseudo legendary, so hence I wouldn't give her that because that's actually a strong Pokemon. Milotic and Gardevoir are technically strong, but I'm not really going to say they're ultra strong unless you give it the right movesets. And last but not least, I gave her Spinder because, well, Spinder just, it's always dizzy, it's not really intelligent, it's always confused, and that's just Aqua in a nutshell. Megumin is also one of those people I had to give her quite a lot of the same Pokemon. And this is kind of hilarious because, right, so her first three Pokemon are from the same line. I have an Electrode and 2 Voltorb. Now I was going to give her one, but I couldn't think of any other Pokemon to give her. I didn't want to do too many limited teams, so hence I just gave her like literally 2 Voltorbs and an Electrode. As well, I gave her Graveler, which also uses Explosion. Yes, all of them are using Self-Destruct to Explosion. Bruh, duh. I tried to say bruh and duh at the same time and it just became buh. But as I say, all those 4 can use those moves, so yeah. Hatterene. Now this was in between Hatterene and Mismagius, and I chose Hatterene because it's a psychic type. It's a psychic fairy. Hatterene is a witch. It has the hat. One of the more common one of the biggest designs on Megumin is her hat, so that's kind of why it was more design choice rather than move choice. And this last one, Shedinja. Shedinja can die by one move. Literally, if it gets hit by any type that's super effective by it because of its ability Wonder Guard, its 1 HP drops to 0. Why won't I? Of course I'm gonna give her Shedinja. When she uses Explosion, she's on the floor. She's fainted already. So it's perfect. As well, as a psychic, This is more KONOSUBA, but it is more in season 2 of Isekai Quartet. I gave her Litten because it's a cat, it's a fire cat. Why wouldn't I give her Litten? Because regular cats, by the sounds of things, to Megumin's description, allows fire breathing to be a thing. So, yeah. And of course, to finish the party off, we've got Darkness. Darkness, or Lolatina. Best character, Lolatina. Darkness was also a hard one with Kazuma. One of the harder ones. Because all you really see her do much in the series is block attacks. Like shield attacks almost. Miss every shot. And, well, be pervy. But that's another story, and I couldn't really show her perviness as a Pokemon. Again, there's not really any pervy Pokemon unless you're a pervy person, in which case that's okay, I guess. You're cultured, I think. But Darkness had some strange characters, and all I could really think about were like more Steel types, Pokemon that can take hits, and Pokemon that were decently strong to go with a Crusader and Fighting Spirit. So I gave her Steelix, Machamp, Conkeldurr, Wobbuffet, Shuckle, and Chansey. I didn't want to give her Blissey, and you will know why in a bit, but Steelix, it's supposed to be strong in defense, so I'm gonna give her a Steelix, and it's a decent Steel type as well. Machamp and Conkeldurr both do the same thing. They're both supposed to be these strong, muscly Pokemon. So, and even though she doesn't like, she has said like she doesn't like the idea of being named like a man. So she doesn't like the idea of being muscly, but she likes being strong, and they're kind of strong. So even though they're probably going to miss most attacks. Just have some sort of item or like some sort of curse that makes them like lose accuracy by a lot. That would basically be on her team. Wobbuffet and Shuckle also same purpose. They can take hits. Wobbuffet can counter, but if you've seen Wobbuffet in max raid battles from the CPU, yeah, just it mostly misses. It always tries to do counter or something like that, so it's never really useful. So another useless character there. Boom. And Chansey, because as I say, I'm going to talk about Blissey in a bit, but Chansey's it's supposed to be this really high HP Pokemon, so it's going to be nice and bulky, great. It's also female, so that works. As well, it's also a little hidden joke to Season 2 of Konosuba with how Darkness lies and says that she's got Subaru's Kazuma's baby, and I thought that was hilarious. So Chansey with the baby egg sort of thing going on, of course I'm gonna give her a Chansey for that reason. Blissey also does, but still, as I say, Blissey was taken out for another reason. Now the last character to finish this video off is not Valmir, was it Valmir or something? I can't remember the guy's name now. I didn't want to do him in this video. I didn't feel like he's a main character in the class, so he's just not going to be added. I feel like he's more in class 1, so hence I didn't want to choose him. So the last one is the Destroyer. Strangely enough, I'm going to do the Destroyer because I feel like there was just enough possibilities for the Destroyer. So, right, Mr. Mime, the barrier. It has a barrier at the start, so of course, clearly, the barrier Pokemon's got to be there. So, Mr. Mime, Aggron, it's a big, bulky, like, I don't know about its stats, but it's a decent, like, supposed to be this big Pokemon. So Aggron, is supposed to be the big steel type boy. So Aggron, of course, is going to be there.
Future Mole here again. I actually came to the realization that Aggron wouldn't be the best Pokemon in this term, but rather the Destruction Pokemon would have been a better suit for either the next one Pokemon, which I'll just say is Regigigas, or for this Pokemon, Aggron. Yveltal, or Yveltal, as M&J TV fans call it, would have been better because it's a destruction Pokemon compared to what really is these two, which are just big bulky Pokemon, and one's got a bit more moss on him. So personally, I feel like I should have given it Yveltal, as it is the destruction Pokemon for the Destroyer.
Regigigas, it's supposed to be the big Titan, you know, that sort of thing. It's supposed to be this big Pokemon. So yeah, also it can shoot beams. It's slow start as well, but we don't talk about slow start. Galvantula, Spider. I could have done so many other ones like Ariados and Araquanid, but I didn't. I thought Galvantula worked because it's Galvantula electric, and it's the Destroyer is a machine, so electricity. G-Max Blastoise, the only G-Max I'll probably do, unless I do one next video or any other videos. It's supposed, like, literally, have you seen its back? It's a literal tank. It makes sense to be a big tank sort of thing on its back, just like the Destroyer, so it perfectly works. I don't know how it would G-Max it though, that's the question. And now I'm getting back to it. Blissey. Blissey is a Pokemon that can take hits, and wouldn't you know it, the Destroyer can take hits. Now, I was going to do a self-destruct Pokemon, but I just didn't feel like it needed one, because it only does that in its last phase, and the other Pokemon make a bit more sense to what it's supposed to be. So, yeah. As well, with going back to Regigigas, the moss on it, it's been there for years, hundreds, you know, the moss is going down on it, it's been there, it's been alive for a while. The Destroyer's been a while, you know, live for a while, as we can definitely tell. In that fight in Season 1, we can clearly tell that someone's been there for the whole time. So, yeah. Yeah. The Destroyer. I could have done Vamir, but I didn't. And I'm only doing Class 2 characters, so I'm not going to be doing any others. So, ha! This is why it's going to be a shorter video. Anyway, what did you think? I had fun making this. I had fun making this KONOSUBA team. I might even try it on Showdowns. Well, some of them are on Showdowns. Some of them ain't going to be good. Aqua Megamine? But other than that, I kind of think that's all I really wanted to do. I will... I'm gonna be doing ReZero next, so if you guys have any, like, if you watched ReZero, if you have, tell me some Pokemon, like, I give people, like, Beatrice, because, oh, it's really hard to get Pokemon for her, and, some of the others, so, tell me some Pokemon ideas down below for some of the Class 2, ReZero characters, and I'll look at some of the suggestions and think, are they correct? Are they not? Anyway, that's all for this video. Bye guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!